Hey guys, we are back with some more Salt Lake City Lakers franchise mode, and the last one we got beat out by the Philadelphia Flyers of the Stanley Cup Finals in 7 games. It was a great series, a great playoff run all around. We had, at one point, a 14-game winning streak, basically from the start of game number 3 against Chicago all the way up until game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. We did not have a single loss. So it was a very good run. And we came up just short, 1 goal shy of the Stanley Cup, so it makes it hurt that much more. But the saving grace possibly of this offseason is that we do have the best odds at getting the first overall pick, because we have Tampa Bay's pick, who are currently 32nd, I should say, in the entire league. So that is something to look forward to for sure as we scroll slowly down to the bottom of the list. There you go. Tampa Bay, 32nd in the entire league. We have the best odds at the first overall pick, so that is something to look forward to. But nonetheless, before we get to that, we are going to check out the player stats and then the awards and all that. So forwards, Mitch Marner with 19 points in 21 games. Wright with 16, 15 for Nelson, 14 for Kapanen, 13 for Waugh and Faxa, 12 for Plekanec, 11 for Burakovsky and Kasha, 5 for Tierney, 4 for Gunler, 2 for Kreider. And on defense, you have Fleury with 16 points, Dundas with 14, McDonough with 10, Lambos with 4, Montour with 3, Goddard with 2, and then Wong with 1 game played. So McDonough, even though he has more years left on his contract, he was a very solid pickup for us at the trade deadline. Thought he was only going to be a rental, but it turns out he actually had an extension. So we're going to have to consider trading him during this offseason. However, he was a valuable asset for us for this run in particular. And in goal, Igor Shesterkin with a .930 save percentage. He did his best. He was phenomenal for us in the majority of the games that we played. 15 wins. Of course, we fell up just short. And 2 shutouts for him as well. So he had a fantastic playoffs, as did most of our skaters. Just got a little unlucky there towards the end. Yep, playoffs are complete, and the Stanley Cup champions, of course, are the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Calder Cup champions are the Toronto Marlies. All right, awards time. Stanley Cup goes to, of course, the Philadelphia Flyers. The President's Trophy goes to the Anaheim Ducks, and it was, of course, your Salt Lake City Lakers versus the Philadelphia Flyers in the Stanley Cup Finals. And the Art Ross Trophy goes to Tyler Seguin for a 2nd year in a row and 3rd time in 4 years. And the Hart, once again, goes to Tyler Seguin. Norris goes to Klingberg. The Lady Byng goes to Seguin. Seguin taking home a lot of hardware. The Calder goes to B. Belfour of Minnesota. And the Conn Smythe goes to Sean Couturier. And the Vezina goes to Gibson. The Jennings goes to Gibson. The Masterton goes to Yossi. The Jack Adams goes to A. Nieuwendyk of the LA Kings. And the Selke goes to Elias Pettersson. The Ted Lindsay Award goes to Tyler Seguin for a 2nd year in a row. And the Maurice Richard, Tyler Seguin. So Seguin had an incredible year, it looks like. So actually, we're going to go check out the player stats real quick for the entire league. Let's see. Yep, Seguin with 115 points. Wow. So he had 13 more points than McDavid, and they were the only 2 players in the entire league who had over 100 points. But man, Seguin, that is, quite the season. So no one had 50 goals this year. And let's check out goaltenders while we're at it. So for a minimum of 40 games, the best goaltenders in the league, Gibson, Blackwood, Grubauer, and Shesterkin right there in 4th. So definitely had one of the better goaltenders in the league, not only during the regular season, but during the playoffs. So I'm glad we've stuck with Shesterkin for this long. But now the moment that we have all been waiting for. Do we get the first overall pick and the chance to select the franchise potential winger in Ted Yandel? Let's see. Come on, EA. Come on, EA. Give us something good. And we fall back to 4, of course. Well, I mean, it's not bad because, obviously, I was expecting that Tampa pick to be probably in the late 20s. But no, here we are. It couldn't have fallen any further than pick number 4. So I will take it. Usually pick number 4 ends up being a NHL-ready player. So I'll take it. You got Toivonen, you got LaRose. I had my eye on LaRose just in case we didn't get that franchise potential Ted Yandel, and obviously that hurts because he could end up being one of the best players in the game at one point. But you take a look at LaRose, he's got the exact same grades that Ted Yandel does. So he's exactly as NHL ready pretty much as Yandel is, just the elite potential instead of the franchise potential. He's like Patrick Kane. He's got a good personality, friendly, keeps to himself, NHL ready. He's got magic hands, pro release, offensive creativity, no weaknesses. He's 5'11", 184 pounds. He's a left shot. So this guy's exactly what we're looking for. We need a sniper. We have a lot of playmakers on our team. We have, what's his name, Plekanec. We have Wright. We have Joshua Watt. We have a lot of playmaker type players. It is about time that we get a sniper, and it looks like Tyler Rose is our guy. So if you retired players, so Andrei Kopitar is retired along with Nicholas Backstrom, Patrice Bergeron, Jonathan Taves, Blake Wheeler, Justin Williams, David Perron, Jordan Eberle, Jordan Stahl, Cam Atkinson, Nick Foligno, Wayne Simmons, Evander Kane, two former Salt Lake City Lakers there, Matt Zuccarello, Michael Frolik, Michael Backlund, Alex Goligoski, TJ Brody, Jared Spurgeon, Eric Johnson, Mikko Bakker, Colin Wilson, Patrick Maroon, and Michael Del Zotto round out the retirements for this year. And for goaltenders, you have Marc-Andre Fleury retiring, Pekka Rinne, Tuukka Rask, Semyon Varlamov, Devon Dubnyk, Ben Bishop, Cam Talbot, Mike Condon, and Alex Stalock for goaltender retirements. So for player interviews, we are going to interview Eugene DeMarchi, Ryan McPherson, and Pasi Vicola. Eugene DeMarchi has a carefree personality, his strength is skating, and is 3 years away from the NHL. Well, I accidentally asked about NHL readiness twice, so we only got 2 answers out of him. He is a professional personality type, and he is 4 years away from the NHL, is Ryan McPherson. Pasi Vicola has a passionate personality type, his strength is puck skills, and he is 3 years away from the NHL. So now, going into the draft, Nashville is on the clock, and we are picking at number 4, so I'm gonna guess that, yes indeed, Yandel has gone to the Nashville Predators. He is an 83 overall. Look at that offensive awareness already up there at 87. His puck skills already in the mid-80s. His shots already low 90s, low mid-90s. He looks like he's going to be pretty good. Now, as we sim up to pick number 4, so Carl and Boguniecki goes to the Maple Leafs and the Canucks respectively. So that means that our guy is still there. And Tyler Rose. There's always Mikko Toivonen as well. He looks NHL ready, but I don't think we don't really need a defenseman. You know, we have a pretty solid defensive core for years to come now. But what we do need, once again, is a sniper type player, and that, I believe, would be Tyler Rose. He has an A+ for shooting and puck skills, A for senses, skating, and defense, and an A- for physicality. And his strengths are in magic hands, pro release, and offensive creativity. No weaknesses. He's NHL ready right now. Got that medium elite potential. There's no reason why we shouldn't take him. There's also, of course, Caleb Stoll, but he's not as NHL ready as Tyler Rose is. We will be taking Tyler Rose with this pick. Welcome to the Salt Lake City Lakers. He's an 82 overall, so he is ready for the third line pretty much right away. And as we take a look at his attributes, his offensive awareness, 86. Puck skills are in the mid-80s, and his shot is in the low 90s. So he's essentially a slightly poor man's Ted Yandel. He's got the medium elite instead of the medium franchise, and Ted Yandel is slightly better right now than LaRose is. So we got a pretty good player out of this draft no matter what, right? And we got a better player than the Maple Leafs did at number 2. Overall wise, at least. So we'll see how that plays out. But nonetheless, we got an 82 overall at pick number 4. Not too shabby, especially for, you know, a pick that was supposed to be, or should have been anyway, in the late 20s, or at least that's what I figured it would be, since Tampa had the champion status at the time that we traded for that pick. So I didn't think this pick would be anywhere as good as it was, but you know what? I will take it. So we'll go to our next pick, which is number 31. There is a low 2-bar franchise in Henry Rigier. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be entirely accurate, but he could potentially be like a low elite, because the last time we picked a player like this, I believe in our New Jersey GM mode, he was a low elite potential. So it may not be the worst idea to take a chance on him. However, there are some other players down here with the guaranteed medium top 6 and medium top 4 potentials. So as we take a look at, let's say, Jackson, who's supposed to go 42nd overall, B- CCC, Eastwood, he's 3 years away, Tarasov, he is 3 years away as well, so you're basically just choosing between player types here, two-way forward or sniper. And then there's one medium top 4 defenseman in Malak, who is NHL ready. Now, we don't necessarily need an NHL ready defensive defenseman, considering we have quite a few of them already. Yeah, I think we're going to take a forward here. So for me right now, it's between Santiago Jackson and Orlando Eastwood. And Eastwood has the A for shooting, so I'm going to guess that he's slightly closer to the NHL. And as a result, we will be taking Orlando Eastwood. Welcome to Salt Lake City. He is a 65 overall, medium top 6. Now, our next pick is actually the first pick of the second round, so we can have another go here. We may as well take that top 4 defenseman, Malak, since he's supposed to go soon anyway. And he's NHL ready. And it doesn't hurt to, I guess, get another defensive prospect in there, even though we already have plenty of them. But I guess, you know what, even if it's just for trade value, let's take Simon Malak here. Welcome to Salt Lake City. He's a 75 overall, medium top 4. So we're at pick 63 now, and there's not a whole lot left in terms of guaranteed potentials. There's a couple of low top 4 defensemen there, but that's about it. So I think what I want to do is take Vukola here, because he's got the medium elite with the 2 bars. So he may be, he may not be, but we're going to take a gamble, and we're going to take Pasi Vukola here. Welcome to Salt Lake City. Yeah, medium top 6. That's unfortunate. So with the 76 overall pick, we'll either take Jas or Lotz, as they are 3-bar medium top 6 forwards. And it looks like, oh yeah, we're definitely taking Jas, because yeah, Lotz is 20 years old and Jas is 18, and he's actually a year closer to the NHL than Lotz is. So we will be taking Dimitri Jas here with this pick. Welcome to Salt Lake City. He's a 56 overall and a medium top 9. That's unfortunate. With the 95th overall pick, we will be taking Braden Richards. Welcome to Salt Lake City. And he is a low top 6. Okay. 60 overall. Not bad. With the 109th overall pick, we'll be taking Ross Coop. He's got that 2-bar low top 6. And he is, of course, a low bottom 6, 54 overall. And we're starting to get a bunch of meh potentials now, so we'll just take the scout recommendations here. Holmstrom, welcome to the Salt Lake City Lakers. Oh, medium top 6. He's a 50 overall, but medium top 6, so good scout recommendation there. And there's 2 scout recommendations here, a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old. I think it's pretty obvious who we're going to take. Welcome to the Salt Lake City Lakers, Emmanuel Lecavalier. Another good scout recommendation, 50 overall, medium starter. Pick 191, we don't even have any scout recommendations, so that is unfortunate. We're just going to have to take a shot in the dark here then, I suppose, because, yeah, there's not, once again, no scout recommendations for that pick. We're just going to have to go for one of these later ones. I guess we'll take Mikko Timonen, because he's the only 18-year-old that we have as a scout recommendation left, so make a pick. Welcome to Salt Lake City. He is a medium bottom 6, 51 overall. And our last pick of the draft, we're going to take Harvey Boss, because it's an awesome name, and he's 18 years of age, and the 1-bar medium elite, so he's probably not a medium elite. And he's a low bottom 6, so that's unfortunate. But nonetheless, our draft is now complete, and we'll move off to the re-sign stage. So welcome to the Salt Lake City Lakers. LaRose, Eastwood, Malak, Vukola, Jas, Richards, Coop, Holmstrom, Lecavalier, Timonen, and Boss. So starting out with goaltenders, Strachan, we have to re-sign. He's obviously got that medium elite. As for Bednar, he does not want to re-sign, so we'll just tender him a qualifying offer, I guess, on the 30th. Brossoit does not want to re-sign either. We will release him. Defensemen, we have Dundas, Fleury, Montour, DeMello, Sterling, and Hall. We will re-sign Hall and Sterling, as they have those medium top 4s, and they are pretty close to being NHL ready, especially Sterling, who's a 79 overall, so we may be able to use him next year. DeMello, I kind of want to give his spot to Sterling, but he is some real cheap veteran depth, so it can't hurt, even if for the AHL, you know. So Montour, what does he want? He wants 4.8 for 3 years. What kind of season did he have last year? I know he didn't have the greatest year, yeah, in comparison to the past couple of years anyway, especially to the year before, where he had 46 points compared to 22. So not nearly as good of a season as we expected out of him, but he was still pretty solid defensively, so I'm inclined to renew him. Now, what about Dundas and Fleury? Fleury wants 5.7 for 4 years. Dundas, he's probably going to want a lot. Oh, yep, 10.7 for 8 years, and he doesn't even want to re-sign. That's just great. Now, forwards, you have Wright, Burakovsky, Nelson, Tierney, Eakin, Gunler, Kreider, Naslund, Zarnik. So we re-signed Zarnik for the AHL. He wants a cheap deal, two-way deal as well. Rybinski, we will re-sign for the AHL because the AHL team is not good for forwards right now. Naslund, we definitely have to sign. I'd want him on the NHL squad next year. Kreider, we are going to release. Gunler, I think we'll tender a qualifying offer to on the 30th. And for Eakin, I think he was in the AHL, was he not? He just didn't play at all last year. So I think if we could get him for really cheap, then we'll sign him. Yeah, he wants a 2-year deal. We'll get him. Why not? And for Tierney, he wants 1.775 for 1 year. Nelson, what does he want? He wants 6.8 for 2 years. I want him back for 1 more year just because he's been really solid. Last year he had 33 goals and 31 assists. He doesn't look like he's showing too much of a sign of regression, so I'll give him a 1-year deal, and I'll give him, I guess, what he wants relatively, 6.8 for 1 year. Burakovsky, what does he want? He wants 5.2 for 4 years. I kind of don't want to go 4 years for Burakovsky. I'd rather go 2 years, honestly. That takes him down to 5.1. I'll give you 5 mil for 2 years. And now Shane Wright, what do you want? You want 8.3 for 3 years. Does that take you to RFA status or UFA? I think that would be RFA status, but let's just double check. Yeah, it would be RFA status. So we're going to do the 3 years then, and we'll take him down to, I'm going to say 7.5, just to make sure we can save as much money as possible here, because we are, I think, going to be running into some cap issues soon. And for Tierney, I guess we'll re-sign him, because we'll likely have enough, but I'm going to wait on him just to be safe. So Zarnik is re-signed, Burakovsky has not re-signed, Nelson has not re-signed either. DeMello is re-signed. Eakin is re-signed. Naslund, Hall, Sterling, Wright, Rybinski also re-signed. Strachan, they're all signed. Now we have to worry about Gunler, Tierney, Montour, Nelson, Fleury, Burakovsky, and Dundas. So Burakovsky, since he didn't like that previous offer, I'll give him the same amount of years, but I'll give him a little bit more money than what he wanted. I'll give him 5.3 for 2 years. Definitely want Fleury back. I will give him, I would say he's worth it 4 years. He's been really solid for us ever since he joined, which was basically day one. So, yeah, we'll give him the 4 years, and I think we'll take him down to 5.4. Nelson didn't like the previous offer. I'll give him 1 year for 7.1. Montour, I'll give 2 years to, and I'll try to give him 4.7. Tierney, he's nice and cheap. We could get him back, I think. We still have 34 million cap space, so yeah, we can afford him. We'll give him 1.6 for 1 year. Montour is back. Fleury, not quite. Burakovsky, nope, he's not back either. Nelson, he's back now. Tierney is back. Slowly but surely getting guys signed here. 23.5 remaining in cap space. So Dundas is going to eat up like half of that, unfortunately. Burakovsky, he'll have another 5 mil. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Fleury, I'll just give him exactly what he wants, except a little bit less. 5.75 million for 4 years. Burakovsky, I'll take you to 3 years since you don't like the 2 years, and I'll give you 5.3. There's Fleury and Burakovsky. We're having some trouble with Burakovsky here. He was not content with the amount of minutes he played this season, which he got 15.29. That's a pretty decent amount of time. It's not as much time as he got the year before, but it's still, I would say, the average amount of time for a player of his skill. You know, I don't see why he's rejecting this. And maybe he's like really set on the 4 years. Not sure if we're going to be able to afford him, especially after offering Dundas. So I want to get Dundas out of the way right here. He wants 8 years for 10 points. We're going to have to really jack his price up there. I mean, he's worth it. He is definitely worth it. He's improved drastically every single year, and he had 60 points this year, so I don't see a world in where I'm not renewing him. So I'm going to give him, I guess we'll start out with 11.1, but I don't see him accepting this because he's got that no for interested in the extension, so he's probably honestly going to reject this. Yeah, we'll start with 11.1 for 8 years. And Burakovsky, I'm going to try negotiating with you again. We'll go 3 years for 5.5 this time. There you go. There's Burakovsky. And Dundas rejects. Yep, knew it. So Dundas is going to be pretty tough here. We're on the 29th already. So I'll give you 8 years for 11.3. Yep. This is going to be tough. And we're on the 30th already, so we pretty much have to, we're pretty much forced to tender him a qualifying offer at this point. I'll give a qualifying offer to Gunler, I'll give a qualifying offer to Bednar, and I will qualify Dundas as well. So now that we've qualified him an offer, let's give him an actual offer. We'll give him 8 years for, I'm going to say 11.6. That's probably what's going to have to do it. Oh, that's eating up so much cap. We are going to be very close to the cap ceiling very soon. And now, of course, we got to sign Tyler Rose. He's an 82 overall. He's definitely playing in the NHL next year. And actually, Ilya Kistov is a 78 overall now, so he could just replace Bednar as our backup goaltender. So we will indeed sign Kistov. There's LaRose. And Dundas has rejected our offer. Wow. He is not budging, and Ilya Kistov has joined us as well. So it's a good thing we tendered him a qualifying offer because we are now on July 1st, and we have yet to re-sign Peyton Dundas, so he is still wanting 10.8. Now, Dundas only wants 7 years here, but we can give him 8, so we're going to give him that, and we're going to give him, I would say, we'll just give him 11.5, just to make sure. You know, offer contract, there you go. We're obviously not affording anyone like Lucas Raymond or Raimo Louis, who's available in the RFA market right now, because right now we just got to be worried about signing Dundas, and then after we sign Dundas, we're going to have probably 2.5 left in cap, so we really cannot afford to approach anyone until Dundas accepts. So that being said, there's not much else that we can do right now until we know whether or not Dundas is signing with us here. So we will advance a couple of days, and we'll see what happens here with Dundas. So there's some scouts, and there you go. Dundas has re-signed. And it took 11.5 mil worth of cap, so hopefully he's worth it for the next 8 years. Bednar for Tays 4th and a 4th. Nope. I mean, we do have to trade Bednar. We do have to trade Bednar because Kistov, one of either Kistov or, what's his name? What's the other goaltender? Rohan Bowman are going to jump up to be our backup this year. Yeah, Bowman is a 78, and as is Kistov, so I guess the two of them will battle it out, and we can trade Bednar. So now I think we have to re-sign Gunler as well, but he shouldn't be too big of an issue. So with that being said, we will offer Gunler, and we'll give him, I would say, 1.2. Yeah, we'll just give him 1.25 for 1 year, and that's basically all I think we're going to do. I don't think we need much out of this free agency. And even if we were need to have anything out of this free agency, it's not like we could even afford anyone major anyway. So let's see. Forwards, we have Marner, Wright, Burakovsky. There's 3. 6 is Kapanen, Kasha, and Plekanec. 8 for Nelson and Waugh. Faxa is 9. LaRose is 10. Tierney is 11. Gunther is 12. And in the system, you have Eakin, Gunler, Naslund. Naslund could jump up. So I think we're set at forward for right now. And defensemen, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 is DeMello. And then in the system, you have 9 Sterling. So we are set on D. And in goal, you have Shesterkin, Bowman, and Kistov. We're going to trade Bednar. So that's 3 goaltenders ready to go. And I believe we are set. So now we're going to find a trade for Bednar. And then that really should be our offseason. So you have bunch of trades here from the Ducks. Yeah, they're offering Clymer and a 3rd, a 2nd and a 6th. I like that. A 2nd and a 4th. I really like that. So Buffalo's the top offer so far. Calgary's also offering a 2nd and a 4th, a 2nd and a 3rd from Colorado. So Colorado just became the new front runner. 2nd and a 3rd from Tampa Bay. So the best offers were definitely from Colorado and Tampa Bay. They were both offering a 2nd and a 3rd. We've already taken a lot of Tampa Bay's picks, so we're gonna give Bednar to Colorado in exchange for the 2nd and the 3rd, accept trade. Now, actually, we do have to trade McDonough as well, and before he drops any further than he already has, because I think as of when I last saw, he's an 82 now, is he not? Let's see. Yeah, he's an 82. He was an 84 before, So I think I want to trade this now. So we're going to see what we can get for Ryan McDonagh. Once again, I did not know that he had an extension on him. I failed to recognize it, so it's my own fault. But nonetheless, we're going to try to find a trade for him. So Pelech and a third from Detroit. Pettinen and a third from Detroit. Fogle, a fourth and a fifth. Sorensen and a fourth. A second and a third from Tampa. And Moores and a third from Tampa. So honestly, the best offer was Tampa for a second and a third. But would it make sense to give them McDonagh back? I mean, they're technically still a contender, but, you know, they kind of had an awful season last year, and we got their first round draft pick, so do we give them McDonagh back? You know what? I'm going to leave it off here just to make sure, because I want to hear you guys on this. Should we give McDonagh back to Tampa Bay? Is that cheesing it or no? Because we offered out the trade, and Tampa said they wanted McDonagh back, so would it be right to send McDonagh back to Tampa in that instance? Like, since Tampa wants McDonagh back, is that okay to send McDonagh back? I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. So I'm going to not do this trade right now. And in fact, I'm going to end it off right here. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we finish off the offseason for year number 6 and make our way into year number 7. See you guys then.